Today, we're trying New York City's most famous Italian restaurant, Carbone, to find out if it's worth it or just a tourist trap.
Not too long ago, Carbone was the hottest new Italian restaurant in New York City. But in a surprisingly similar way to Peter Luger, it started getting a lot of hate online after losing its Michelin star. Marcelo says, "The most arrogant place I have ever been in my life. The service is horrible, the food is nothing special. Even in Disneyland, you can find better Italian places. I would not go back to this trap, not even for free. 1 star. Marcelo, what Italian place did you go to in Disneyland? Because we need to give it a try." Laura says, "Carbone was everything I dreamed a romantic Italian restaurant would be. Everything was perfection, from the food to the music to the ambiance, worth every dollar and worth the hype. 5 stars. It's crazy to me that these two people went to the same restaurant. Let's give it a try."
For as iconic as Carbone has become, it's actually not very old. It was opened in 2013 by Mario Carbone and Rich Torrisi, who went on to form Major Food Group that runs loads of popular restaurants like Torrisi and Sadelle's. New York Times critic Pete Wells, who also wrote the infamous 1-star Peter Luger review, gave Carbone 3 out of 4 stars in 2013. It received a Michelin star a few months later and held onto it until 2022, when, funny enough, Peter Luger lost its star as well. Carbone became the place to spot celebrities, and there are now 8 locations around the world. Social media has definitely turned on it recently, but reservations still book up right when they drop 30 days out.
Walking in, the restaurant is gorgeous. It's exactly what you think an Italian restaurant in New York City would look like. I love the bold colors, the wood paneling on the walls, the exposed brick, and velvet booths. We sat in the back room, and the first thing we noticed was how loud the music was. And that's why this video has to be voiceover. Usually music this loud would be annoying, but we actually enjoyed it. The two tops are really close to each other, but the music is loud enough that you could hear the person across from you, but not the tables next to you. Also, the music choices were absolutely perfect. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Four Seasons, and I actually think I found the playlist on Spotify if you want to check it out. Also, the plates at Carbone are stunning. I'm honestly shocked they don't sell these because they would 100% be on my Christmas list.
They start you off with a complimentary bread course, which if you're here for lunch is soppressata, garlic bread, and fresh mozzarella that's cut at the table and is unbelievable.
To die for.
This is easily some of the best mozzarella we've ever had. It's so soft and creamy. The soppressata was just as good, a little spicy but packed with flavor.
Wow, that's good.
The garlic bread itself was a little too firm, maybe it wasn't quite as fresh, but put these 3 together and you get a delicious little sandwich.
Isn't it so good?
Give me a whole sub of this and I would be a happy camper. Between the ambiance and the bread course, Carbone really knows how to start a meal.
Next up was the famous tableside Caesar salad. We've had this at a few places now, but this had to be the first tableside Caesar that couldn't actually be made tableside because we were too close to the tables next to us.
Instead, they made it right in the middle of the dining room. I love how he even dressed the croutons and then absolutely covered it in fresh Parmesan.
The dressing was great, but a little garlic and mustard heavy in my opinion, but the croutons were crazy good. They are massive, the perfect crunchiness on the outside, but soft and bready on the inside, delicious.
We also tried the eggplant and zucchini scapece, and this was the unexpected gem of the meal. It seems simple, it's just roasted eggplant and zucchini topped with ricotta and Parmesan, but it's packed with flavor and everything works together so well.
It's just so unique. It's almost got like a citrus flavor.
Yeah, it's fresh, it's like citrusy.
Like a little basil,
It's really
like a little
good.
tomato
Definitely
sauce.
the basil you taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tomato sauce, I just saw it on there. I was surprised it was on there.
Yeah, same.
but it's good. I actually think I like that more than the salad.
Me too.
Honestly, I think I'd get this over the salad. It was outstanding.
Now for the main courses. If there's one thing Carbone is known for, it's the spicy rigatoni vodka. This pasta was perfectly al dente and had just the right amount of sauce. It's not necessarily the best take on a vodka sauce we've ever had, but it's definitely different. It isn't that spicy, but it has a strong Calabrian chili pepper flavor. It tastes like it would be a lot spicier than it actually is. It's also much thinner than a normal vodka sauce. Overall, I would get it again, but I wouldn't necessarily come back for this.
Next up were the meatballs. Of everything we had, this was the biggest letdown. They were covered in sauce, but still weren't flavorful and pretty chewy. The meat took a backseat to the sauce, which wasn't anything special. I'd skip this if we came back.
Last but certainly not least, the veal parm. It comes with the bone, and our waiter cut it tableside with a pizza cutter. After the meatballs, I was nervous for this one, but it was incredible. Not overly breaded, tender, the perfect amount of cheese, crispy, flavorful, just perfect. One of the best takes on a Parmigiana I've ever had. But at $89, it better be good. It's more than enough for 2 people, but still a pretty outrageous price. I would say this dish pretty perfectly sums up our experience at Carbone. Excellent food, but the prices will still make you debate whether or not it's worth it.
For dessert, our waiter recommended we try the seasonal apple cider sorbet, and it did not disappoint.
Wow.
Picture the best applesauce you've ever had in sorbet form. We were here on Thanksgiving weekend, and it was the perfect dessert for this time of year.
Wow. That's crazy. Tastes like frozen applesauce. Wow.
It's got a little cinnamon, some nutmeg, basically fall in a sorbet.
We also tried the lemon cheesecake. Unlike the sorbet, the lemon flavor is very subtle. It's more like regular cheesecake with a slight hint of lemon. A great cheesecake, but not remotely worth $25 a slice. Carbone doesn't present you with a dessert menu, so we were pretty caught off guard by the price of this one. And finally, they gave us some complimentary rainbow cookies. You can't really go wrong with rainbow cookies, and these seemed so moist and fresh.
We figured making a definitive decision on whether a restaurant was worth it or not could get difficult, but we got a tough one way sooner than expected. Other than the meatballs, all the food we had was exceptional. The service was as good as anywhere in the city, and the little touches like the bread course and rainbow cookies made this feel extra special. I appreciate that there are some theatrical elements like the tableside Caesar and fresh mozzarella, but it's not over the top. The prices are still outrageous, particularly for the veal parm and the cheesecake. I mean, this might be the most expensive cheesecake in the world. Let us know if you've ever seen anything more expensive. So the food alone does not justify the price tag. If you don't care about service and ambiance, this will probably feel like a tourist trap, but I'd be shocked if anyone walks out feeling like they had a bad meal.
Let us know what you guys have thought of it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.